Hello, this is Hatton Sladen again with another tutorial, part 2, prepping the model for sculpting in ZBrush. Now, you should have opened ZBrush by now. I am currently using ZBrush 4R4, and what you need to do is import the geometry that we just saved and exported from Dev Studio 4. It should be under whatever folder you've placed it. Double-click it. It then loads the model up into your tool palette. Drag and drop into your ZBrush workspace. Go up to Edit and press that. Shortcut is T. Press the frame button, pulls it back in. You now have your base geometry Genesis model in your workspace. Before we prep the model for sculpting, I want to show you a few things. When we exported the model, it loaded two sets of polygroups. The first one, which we will do most of our sculpting with, is going to be the groups for moving. So, just like with your model, as you can see, grabbing the head is one model, grabbing the neck is another group, grabbing the shoulders, the forearms, wrist, all that is their own groups. This is significantly easier to model with than the other polygroups that have been loaded, which are the polygroups by UVs. So if we go under our tool palettes, down to polygroups, expand that, we see we have this button, Auto Groups with UVs. That is a very useful tool, which we will be using later. But if we press that now, show our polygroups. Another shortcut is Shift F. Now the groups have been grouped by UV maps. These UV maps will be exported back into DAZ when we are done with them, so that we can pose the model. I'm going to undo that because I don't need to group those just yet. Turn off the group. Now we are going to subdivide this entire model by about 4. That gives us over 1,000,000 polygons to work with. What I have exactly is 1,210,000. Now that we have all our subdivision layers, we're going to scale it back down, zoom into the face, hold Control and Shift, then tap the face. That pulls out just the head group. We tap it again, and then we get the group that we really want. Both the eyes and the upper lower jaw and the tongue is in there as well. We are going to mask those off because we don't want them affected except when we want to specifically go in and sculpt. The reason why we went and divided all this beforehand is because if you divide this after you've done a mask, you won't have these subdivision levels. And we'll need them for later on. It doesn't do any smoothing, and it doesn't do any subdivision layers for you to jump back and forth like I do. So, now that we have that masked off, we then control Shift and tap outside the model, which brings our head back. Press X, which activates symmetry, and we can start sculpting our model. This concludes the tutorial, Step 2, prepping the model for sculpting. Thank you for watching.